Cutting off your own family sounds insane, right? Like, who just wakes up and decides to remove the people who raised them? But here's the thing, when you actually understand the psychology behind it, most people don't go no contact overnight. This decision is usually built over years. We're talking about repeated moments, feeling unheard, constantly judged, controlled, or like you're never really accepted for who you are. And at first, you might ignore it, but over time, those small moments stack up. And eventually, your brain starts noticing a pattern. Instead of feeling safe or supported, family interactions start triggering stress, anxiety, and once your brain makes that switch from comfort to stress, it changes everything. Now, here's where it gets interesting. A big reason people cut off family comes down to boundaries. Boundaries are just limits you set to protect your mental health. But in some families, those boundaries get ignored again and again. You keep trying to communicate your limits and nothing changes. Distance becomes the only option left. Going no contact isn't always about anger. It's about self-preservation, but that's not the only reason. Another huge factor is identity. As people grow, especially in their late teens and early 20s, they start figuring out who they really are. But sometimes family expectations don't evolve with them. You might be pushed into a career you don't want, expected to act a certain way, or constantly compared to a version of yourself that doesn't even feel real. That creates this internal battle between wanting approval and wanting to be authentic. And for some people, the only way to figure themselves out is by stepping away from the noise. Now, here's the part most people don't talk about. Not all families are healthy. Some people grow up dealing with manipulation, emotional neglect, or constant negativity. And when you're in it, it can feel normal. But as you grow and gain awareness, you start seeing those patterns for what they really are. And once your brain labels something as harmful, it becomes a lot harder to ignore. That's when people decide to break the cycle. Cutting off contact becomes less about escaping and more about not repeating the same patterns in their own life. But don't get it twisted. This isn't easy. Walking away from family is one of the hardest decisions someone can make. There's guilt, doubt, loneliness, even grief, because at the end of the day, it's still family. So people go back and forth in their head, questioning if they did the right thing, which is why this decision usually comes after trying a lot, trying to fix things, communicate better, give more chances, and eventually realizing nothing changes. At the end of the day, cutting off family isn't about being heartless or dramatic. It's about choosing peace over constant emotional stress. It is about protecting your mental space when the environment around you isn't healthy. And once you understand that, you stop seeing it as something extreme and start seeing it as something deeply human. If this changed the way you think about it, drop a comment and let me know your take, and subscribe for more real psychology breakdowns.